రాజ్యసభ సమావేశాన్ని ప్రత్యక్షంగా చూద్దాం.
Honorable LOP, are you yielding? He is not listening. No. Are you yielding? Are you yielding?
For my purposes, Mr. Chairman, for my purposes, it is enough if the Department of Industrial Policy and Planning moved a note making out a compelling case for FDI for consideration of the Cabinet. The point that I was seeking to make was that they were themselves convinced, their department was convinced of the innate logic of that proposal, and therefore in November it came from the Cabinet.
Ravi, I am capable of giving a reply, please.
He was the minister. No, please.
Well, Mr. Ashwani Kumar, that's only half the truth. The full truth is...
No commentary like that.
The full truth is that one wise man in the government wanted to make a suggestion. The government collectively did not accept that suggestion. So please state the full truth. And I'll give you the evidence of this. I'll give you the evidence of this. In this very house, during the NDA government, Mr. Nilotpat Basu got up, and on the 6th of December 2002, exactly 10 years ago, he raised an issue that is a serious development that the NDA government is planning to open the retail sector. Mr. Jaswant Singh, the then finance minister, was present in the house. Sir, I will only take a minute. The issue has already been clarified. There is no such proposal, and the honorable member is reading too far into what after a document for the plan consideration. So in 2002, we categorically said no. And we had a very honorable minister. We had a very honorable witness to this episode. The Prime Minister, who was sitting where I am sitting. So when the Prime Minister heard this reply, he was relieved and he was satisfied. So he immediately on 21st December wrote to a trade organization in Bombay saying, kindly refer to your letter of 6th December regarding foreign direct investment in retail trade. This matter was raised in the Rajya Sabha a few days ago, and the finance minister gave an assurance that the government had no such proposal to bring FDI in retail trade. So Mr. Jaswant Singh clearly said so. The then leader of opposition, today's Prime Minister, was a very important witness to this. In the other house, it was raised by Sri Priyaranjan Das Munshi. Mr. Arun Shourie got up and said categorically, no, there is no such proposal. So in 2002, this was a policy. This was exactly your policy in UPA 1. And that is why I have been repeatedly complimenting Mr. Kamal Nath for that policy. He gave an interview. It's one of the very important global programs, and he had an international audience. Normally, before an international audience, you tend to be a little more liberalizer. But he was always more Swadeshi than the present regime. So this was on 22nd April 2005. The program was Hard Talk on the BBC. It's one of the most respected programs on BBC. So I'm just reading 3 of your answers. The first you say, well, it is going to put at risk the current retail trade. Then you say we are looking for increment and not for reduction. But the third answer was very important because you knew best your Prime Minister's mind, not only your own mind. And that is when Dr. Maitriyan today said there was a problem in UPA 1 in the UPA. The interviewer in Hard Talk asked you, in 2005, Dr. Manmohan Singh in those days when he was leader of opposition in the Rajya Sabha, he said that India does not require these kind of reforms. These kind of reforms would rather than create employment, would destroy employment. That's exactly what I am saying. I'll read again. The interviewer asked you that your Prime Minister as the leader of opposition used to say that this kind of a reform, rather than create employment, will destroy employment. To which Mr. Kamal Nath, as a very obedient minister, said, that is absolutely correct.
I said, you give me a chance to. Sir, I must thank him for giving me the compliment. A compliment which he's not very liberal with.
Today,
but I want to clarify. I want to clarify. In 2005, we were carrying out the studies of FDI in retail, and I want to remind the leader of the opposition that it was me as Commerce Minister who had promoted wholesale, retail and wholesale in B2B. It was me, and Mr. Sitaram Yechuri sitting there is witness because he agreed with me at that time when we opened up single brand. And I must say in 2009, in early 2009, it was my ministry of which I was the minister. We made reforms in single brand, in investment in single brand retail. And this is borne out by facts, and I must say that this is being quoted out of the context.
See, I am. Are you yielding? No. Only. See. No. This cannot be a discussion like this. No, I think. I think that. Yes. No, please. No, please, Mr. Kamal Nath.
Because you were the one.
No, Kamal Nath.
With me on the patent law.
No discussion like this. Mr. Kamal Nath, no, please. I think let the Honorable LOP complete, then you can have your views. But
I must once again confess that I've always been a silent and a great admirer of Mr. Kamal Nath. He's always been in a league of his own for rejecting FDI in multi-brand retail. He took the credit then. For having it allowed, he wants to take the credit now.
It's the government of which I am a member.
You are a man of principles. You rejected it on the principle of Swadeshi, and you've now accepted it on the principle of opening out. In any case, it's supported by principles on both sides.
I never rejected it.
Okay.
Sir, Mr. Das Munshi is not keeping the best of health. He went to the extent on behalf of the Congress party with the chief whip of not only criticizing this policy, the word he used was, this is anti-national. Maybe somewhat an exaggerated phrase, but that was your stand then. What has the Parliamentary Standing Committee said? I have the full report. I won't read the report. They said in a country like India, which has such large population, and this is a unanimous recommendation, MPs of all sides, multi-brand retail will be destructive, should not be allowed. और जो फ्रेज उन्होंने यूज किया, उन्होंने कहा कि ये जो अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड रिटेल है, इस देश में रोजगार का अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड सेफ्टी वाल्व है.